Welcome back to the 128 KB podcast. We are
back once again due to
back to me. What?
Yes. God.
Lack of popular
Yes.
demand. And that demand is so lacking. Not only do I have to finish my own catchphrase, but Andy can't even be in the same room as me again.
I know.
How are you all the way over there, 100 miles away?
Oh, yeah, not too bad. I mean, it's freaking hot, I will say that. Like, I should have taken my socks off because I am sweating already.
There's some 128 KB lore for you.
Yes.
Andy likes to be sockless.
Oh, only right now because I'm on a leather seat and don't. There's lights on. Oh,
yeah.
How are you, though?
I'm great. It's been a big week, big 128 KB week.
It has
There's been lots of gaming happening. What have you been playing?
I'm going to bring that back. I'm going to say, what have you been playing first? Yes.
Damn it. See, we prepared this before, and I tried to throw him off then, but he got it right, which is annoying. I've been playing Call of Duty. Thanks for asking, Andy.
Have you been playing that? Oh, yeah. Okay, with me.
I've been playing it with you, and I've been playing it with your wife, Christina, on Game Pass.
Yeah.
No, I've been playing on the PlayStation.
Yeah, none of us have been on Game Pass. It's not on there yet.
Oh, my God. It's not on there yet.
AJ's from the future. Have you been playing the Black Ops 6 and then come back to do this podcast?
Yes, that's right. Okay. I've been playing Black Ops 6 on the Xbox Series 5.
Yeah. Oh, yes. So we've been playing Modern Warfare 3, is it?
3?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
You've been on... it's funny because for once, we've all been on different systems. You've been on PlayStation, which really spammed me out because you were like, hang on, let me load the PlayStation up. And what? Because you haven't played it in a while.
It started off even more annoying than that.
Yes, it did.
I had, in between playing it, I had brought my PlayStation here.
Yes.
But left my disc at home.
Yes.
It's massively frustrating. So I was like, but surely by now you don't have to have the disc to play everything. It's loaded on there.
Yeah.
So I loaded up and it opened and I was like, oh, sweet. Yeah, I can play with you later.
Yes.
And then it wasn't until we got in that it would only let you play Warzone.
Which is what you forced us to play for a whole night.
Yes,
I hate Warzone. I just can't. Any battle royale is not my thing.
It'd been so long since I played COD that before that there was a 40 gig update to do. Why is it the worst optimized game in the world?
I don't understand.
What is with that?
Like, why is it so big? Why?
It's like, it was like a 90 gig download to start with.
But the maps are tiny.
And I had the disc. I know. What is the 40 gig update? What could possibly be that big?
I don't understand because the maps are so small. I had to
actually delete stuff off the hard drive.
I know, yeah.
I
remember you telling me.
Like savagely culling games.
But it was fun,
and then I couldn't play it anyway.
It was fun.
It has been fun.
Yeah.
So the next day I brought the disc down and it was fun. We were playing some team deathmatch. I suck so hard at COD. Like so hard I suck at it.
I felt really bad for you. Because
especially because go on. I don't know the maps either.
Yes, yeah,
so like I'm like wandering around. I'm that guy facing the corner going, oh, it's not that way then. It's this way. Oh, I'll be shot again.
Yeah. I felt the same though because most of the maps I don't know either. I was just jumping in going I don't know. Somehow I've just retained some sort of skill from 2007 when I used to play Modern Warfare, the original. So
I mean, the best it got for me was a KD of 0.75.
Yes, yeah, that's
good. The
good.
worst it got was 0.1. I think I got 2 kills and like 30 deaths or something savage.
Yeah, it was brutal. Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it was that skyscraper mission, the building site one.
Yes.
That map.
Yeah, horrible.
Some guy running around with a riot shield.
Yeah, it was so
do you remember
annoying.
him?
Yeah, I do.
Riot shield wanker?
Yeah, I do. Idiot.
Yes. Well, yeah, so that's been my Call of Duty experience. But I still have fun doing it. Yeah. It's that multiplayer thing. It's just cool to play with other people, isn't
Absolutely.
it? I much prefer co-op games.
Yes.
Like 1,000 times more.
Yes. Yeah.
So it has a bit of the co-op about it because you're in a squad.
Yeah.
So kind of... And you will hate me for this. I prefer Warzone over Team Deathmatch.
Yeah, no, I absolutely knew you would. Yeah, because it's a longer match.
Stuff out.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Whereas I'm very much jump in, jump out, shoot everyone, die,
ADHD.
Come back in. Yeah, exactly,
ADHD.
Yeah, and it's probably Call of Duty that's given it to me.
It's such an arcade game, and it's
it really
just
is. But that's what I like about it because it's just quick, there's no like strategies going in really. You just, as long as you've got a kind of basic Rambo strategy, then you can do pretty well. And it's just reactions for me, like quick.
So I was playing on the PlayStation. Christina was playing on the Xbox
Series X. Yeah.
Majo, who was playing with us, was on PC.
He was on PC. And
what were you playing on?
On the ROG Ally X.
Were you really?
I was, yeah. And I was getting like, what, 25?
You probably had the best experience of us all.
yeah. I was getting good. I think my highest was 2.9 KD on that, and I don't think I dropped below.
On a handheld, man.
Yeah. Well, yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's absolutely ridiculous. And it was so fun. And like we've discussed this before, but having Discord on a headset being plugged in, and then being able to play something like Call of Duty and have a fantastic experience. Do you know what I mean? Like it was, I just love it. The fact that I can just sit there on my sofa. Christina's got the TV and I don't have to mess around with a laptop or any of that rubbish. I just on the Ally X and having like the best time ever. And it looks great and it runs really well, like really good.
Totally.
And ASUS have their own like setup guide of like best settings. And so I followed their blog. Like I Googled it because I was like, okay, these are my settings. They run really good, but let's just see. Yeah. And I just basically put everything on low. Like I was just like, let's just get the most FPS ever. And then I went onto the ASUS like page, and they give you every single setting to change. And I did it. They cranked stuff up way higher and gave you a reason as to why. And the game just looked even better and ran even better than my settings. I was like, what?
Oh, that's mental.
It was like mojo magic.
I genuinely thought you'd have to scale stuff back to get the higher, just intuitively.
Yeah, me too. But it was saying stuff like, because it's, I don't know, I can't remember, but it tells you on the blog, like if you Google like Modern Warfare 3 settings ROG Ally, it will come up with ASUS's thing. Those settings are great, like really good, real stable.
Oh, that's
no
mental.
jittering, no like chugging, nothing. Like really, really good. And we had a great time. Like I had a really good time playing.
That's a really nice segue.
Oh, yes.
It's almost like we planned what we're going to say, because I'm going to pass this over to you because you've got some shocking news and I think you're going to upset a lot of people today, Andy. Myself included. We've given a lot of love to the Steam Deck.
We have.
To the Steam Deck community.
We have.
I feel like we're flag wavers, ambassadors, unpaid ambassadors for Valve.
Yes, we've paid them effectively by buying their products.
And now you're going to stick the boot in and sell your Steam Deck. Are you really? Are you really going to sell it?
It's something I've been considering for the past few weeks that I've had the Ally X, because I've only been using the Ally X.
Is it because you got the Ally X for free?
For use with the past couple of weeks, but we have to send it back before anyone goes, it's sponsored, and that's why. It's sponsored. Because that's,
Well, okay, on the sponsorship thing, right? Firstly, no, the ASUS didn't sponsor us. I don't think they sponsor anyone. Well, they certainly don't sponsor us.
No.
They just lent us a unit pre-release and said, do you want to make some videos about it? And we're like, hell yeah, that sounds like loads of fun.
But it gets sent back. Yeah.
But I just want to know, what's the problem with people being sponsored? Like, why would it be bad?
Because people think that it's basically like bribing. Do you know what I mean? Like, oh, look, have this, and now you're going to praise us, Like,
how else would those people make money, though? So, like Linus, as an example, is like the biggest in the tech kind of community space, computer space. I don't particularly like his videos. They're a bit too geeky for me. They're too specky for me. It gets a bit kind of into the weeds. But you've got to acknowledge that it's a huge production.
Yes.
It's really high quality.
Yeah.
There's a massive team involved.
Yeah.
Like, they have to... They're not going to do it for charity.
No.
Do you know what I mean? It's not like let's just do this for free.
Yeah.
So, like, what's the problem in him being paid? To make that video.
I don't get it. And it seems to be a YouTuber thing, like problem. Because, like, in real life, all the websites are being paid. Do you know what I mean? Like,
of course.
It's no different. Like game journalism, they're not doing it for free. Like the company will be paying them to release an article. But yet that doesn't necessarily sway your opinion. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's the same with like all the controllers and stuff we get sent to review. They're free. They send them to us. Often they'll say, keep it. But then in the review, I'm completely honest. And sometimes I'll completely pull it apart, like if it's needed. I'm not going to just kiss ass because they've given me a controller. Do you know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
Our job is to inform the people. It's not to suck up to the company. I don't know. Like, my opinion would not be any different if they'd given me one for free. And if anything, I'd be telling people that. I would then be saying, I got this for free, by the way. That's cool. It saved me loads of money.
Let's celebrate this cool position that we're in. It's a cool thing. But yeah, I mean, it's quite often, from our experience of doing stuff, the company's actually quite thankful when you are negative about stuff, when you've got genuine feedback about like a problem,
because then they can learn from it and try and improve rather than if you.
I think about BenQ recently with the projector, and we had a whole list of like the stuff that you put in the video. Yeah, these are like it didn't come with this cable, and it's actually a really specific USB 4 cable, and you need this, and it doesn't have a lens cap, there's no carry case, and There's a list of like things on like the color profile for the Steam Deck wasn't quite right to start. They were like, we've sent this all off to our engineering team. Thank you so much for this. Yeah. Like, they enjoyed the negativity.
Yes, So they weren't offended or anything. They were like, oh, cool, let's see if we can improve it, because that's all it is, isn't it? They want people's real life experiences, and they want to improve their products so more people buy them. Like,
anyway, that was a weird tangent. Sorry, we got all serious.
Oh, we had to because someone's they're still going to, by the way.
They're still going to.
But yeah, whatever. Who cares? Do what you want.
So clearly sponsored. Okay, cool.
But so this model is going back because this is an engineering sample. It even says on the back, it just says like, this is for testing purposes only. So there you go.
And this is how cheeky I am. I spoke to the head of PR and marketing for ASUS UK and said, I'm really happy you enjoyed our video. The community have really responded to it really well. Have a look. Could you give me and Andy discount on them? And they said
no. They went no. It's like
just outright no.
Just no. It's like we want to make content.
No. Sorry.
No. So for that, we're not buying one. So sorry, ASUS.
That's why we're here in this topic of this video.
Yes.
And you still haven't told me if it's true.
I know, and I think Are
you selling your Steam Deck?
I'm going to tell you at the end of the video.
Oh my God. I'm going to have to wait that long.
It's something I genuinely have considered. It's something I've spoken to my wife about, because even though I talk to her about a lot of this stuff and it goes over her head like often, even though she's like a full-on gamer, she's been a console gamer for her whole life, but I turned her into a PC gamer because ultimately I've straddled all things, PC gaming, console gaming, handheld gaming.
Insert joke here.
Yeah. Sorry. I've handled a lot of things, all shapes and sizes.
Yes, you have.
But yeah, so I've got her into PC gaming and stuff, and there's so many handhelds and stuff that I talk to her about. But anyway, she knows I love the Steam Deck, and then she could see how much hype I was having for this, the Ally X. And she kind of said, "Oh, are you going to sell your Steam Deck then?" And then that sort of planted the seed. And that was like 2 days into having the Ally X, where I was like, nah, because, I'm still not sure what's going on here, like figuring it out and stuff. Now it's been weeks, and, they are going to ask for this back. I think next week, I think it is, something like that. So we haven't got much longer with it.
I think it's this week.
Oh, it might be this week. Oh, I missed I turned all the blinds down.
You were out?
I was out. Yeah.
Oh, no, that's a shame.
So it was a real bad shame. I've got like 5 missed calls from ASUS.
Oh, well.
But anyway, it's been a while we've had it now. And the more I use it, actually, the more I want one. Like every day that goes by that I use one, the more I want it. Which is funny because I thought actually maybe I've got some sort of like a honeymoon period going on here. And I thought, going to love it for 2 weeks. And then afterwards go, actually, ultimately, I'm not going to spend the money on one because they are expensive, right? And
I mean, it's the biggest drawback of them. What are they, like £800 retail coming out?
$799, yeah. And I think it's the same in dollars, but obviously in America they pay tax afterwards. But I still think that works out cheaper than what we pay. So
yeah, I think it is. Yeah,
they always pay less. And we need to address, by the way, AJ, remind me about people getting their arse in their hand about us comparing the base Steam Deck OLED price point to the ROG Ally X price point, because people are like, it's not the same. It's not double the price because
it is double the price.
But it is. But they're saying, right, we're just going to it now because we're talking about price before I move on, right? So they're saying, people in the comments, a lot of people are saying actually that you can't compare the 512 gigabyte Steam Deck OLED to the 1 terabyte Ally X. They're saying you must compare the Steam Deck OLED 1 terabyte to the Ally X because that's got a 1 terabyte in. But my argument is,
it's baseline.
It's baseline. This is the entry point to these systems. The drive space is redundant. Like it's not there at all.
No, it's just base specs.
It's a base spec, and they're both upgradable. So you could buy, like I've done. I bought the 512 Steam Deck OLED, and it's now got a 2 terabyte in it. You know, like that's besides the point. The entry into the Steam Deck OLED price here in the UK is $450. The entry to the Ally X is $799. It's pretty much
almost double
the price. But yeah. There we go. I just wanted to clarify that to people that were saying about it.
I'm going to retitle this episode, everyone. This is called Welcome to 128 KB Rants, where we get things off our chest that happened this week in the world of reviewing game stuff.
Isn't that what I do in every video? I just get angry about something. I'm going to start keyboard warrior.
In this show, I was actually going to introduce a whole section of the how I upset people on YouTube this week.
Yes.
Just like one of the best comments, which I'm still kind of keen on doing, to be honest.
Yes, I think we should.
I mean, we're really bad at answering the Discord members' questions.
Yes, we should do
so
that.
I might just introduce like the most angry comment from the week. And it's at the moment, it's all about... it's either about... bad comparisons on price, or just how we shouldn't have compared the Steam Deck and the ASUS ROG Ally at all.
It's like,
right. Well, I don't know. I mean, we do a lot of content on the Steam Deck, so of course we're going to compare it to that because that's kind of what we do. And in a year's time, when the Switch 2 is here, we're going to be comparing the Switch 2 to other things as well. Just to see, because from a normal consumer's perspective, a normal gamer, we typically only have one thing.
Yes.
We don't have multiples of things. So we would have a Steam Deck, or we would have a Switch or a ROG Ally, whatever it is. So making these comparisons is actually, for normal people, quite valuable.
And the thing is I've seen so many comments before we did the videos asking us to do that. And yet, once we've done it, there's more people coming in going, why have you done that? It's like, make up your minds, people.
You can't make everyone happy.
No.
But anyway, so the price is back to the point of the conversation. The price is the worst bit about this, the ASUS ROG Ally X, by a million miles.
Yes.
I mean, I know it's a high-end piece of equipment, but as just a pure gaming machine, it's too expensive.
Yes. Yeah, totally, yeah.
But you kind of have to look at it like it's not that.
No, you've got to think of it like a laptop, basically.
Yeah.
You know, you basically, that's how, because that's what it is, really, you know. Obviously, you need a dock and then a keyboard and mouse to plug into it and a screen. So you're basically turning it into a desktop, but it is a fully fledged computer. You could take this to uni and be working on it, you know. You wouldn't even need another screen, technically.
You wouldn't be doing any work at uni on it.
No. I'd be sat in the library like,
just going,
yeah, exactly, yeah. But what
are you doing? Alt-tab. Just do some research.
Yeah, that's it. But you could totally even just plug a dongle into it, have a mouse and keyboard and work on that screen. You could type on it or whatever, you know, or whatever you want to do. But yeah, so it is a fully fledged PC. And that's what I think some people are missing when they get upset about the price. I mean, I do agree it's too expensive. It is.
It's too expensive.
It is too expensive. But it is more capable than just playing games, you know. But obviously it excels with that. But, you know, it's tough. It is tough because price...
I say it's too expensive, but that's... I'm coming from the... It's interesting. We come from different perspectives on this.
Yes.
Like, for me, I come from, like, console gaming world.
Yeah.
Where we've said this before, like, the maximum... There's, like, a threshold of, like... 500 quid.
500 quid is top.
And above that, it's too expensive.
Yes.
So for a out-and-out gaming device, it's too much. But you come from more of the PC gaming space, where £800 for a gaming laptop is cheap.
You wouldn't even buy a gaming laptop at that because it would be crap.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
so you're getting that for £800.
Yeah.
With that beautiful display, the VIR display.
Yeah.
I mean,
something that's hyper portable. Like how tiny is this? Do you know what I mean? Like, it's absolutely minuscule. Whereas a laptop, It's a big thing. It opens up, like, you know, it's lots of faff. This is tiny.
It's hot.
Yeah.
That's the other thing. It heats up. The fans are blowing. Like, you don't get any of that with that.
No.
With the ROG Ally X.
No.
So I guess the point is, you're going to have to, if you are going to buy one, you're going to have to sell something to get it.
Yeah.
Something you're not going to use.
And that's the position
Now,
I'm
is
in.
that something, your Steam Deck?
It's a tough choice, isn't it? Because I love the Steam Deck. I genuinely do. I'm super hyped for the Steam Deck 2 in a couple of years. And until then, like, the Steam Deck OLED is the perfect machine. Like, I've gone on a bit of a journey, right? And I'll take you there first. Okay. Yeah. So obviously, I'm for those that don't know, my first console was a Game Boy Color when it released in like '97 or whenever it was. That thing was with me like my best friend. I didn't have a home console. My brother did.
I thought you could say I didn't have a best friend.
Yeah, I didn't have a best friend, but it was my Game Boy Advance, which is on the shelf behind me, but you won't see it because of my chair. But yeah, so I played this Game Boy Advance to death. Didn't have a home console. My brother had one, but he's like 10, 11 years older, so I'd sometimes play there. My friend had like a Mega Drive, you know, or a Genesis, Sega, and stuff like that. So I stuck on handhelds, and I always was that way, but let's just stick with a handheld thing. And then obviously I had consoles and PCs and stuff, but when the Switch dropped, the Nintendo Switch, that's what blew my mind, because for the first time you're playing home games in your hands, right? And it absolutely melted my mind in 2017. I was like, this is incredible. But I've already got like 15 years of Steam games behind me, all my PC stuff that I've just now like gone, well, I can't play any of that unless I've got like a $2,000 laptop, right? And again, the portability and just the fact that it was a small little thing, the Switch, amazing thing, right? Still love it. And then the Steam Deck came out. And I was like, no, I'm not touching it because it's PC land. It's Linux that I've got no experience with.
Fair.
You know, I was like, could be rubbish like the other Steam stuff from the past. You know, and when I say that, I'm just on about like the streaming thing that I bought one of those.
Do you remember it?
Yeah, I had one.
It was tragic.
It was awful. But yeah, so I was like, I'm a bit skeptical. Waited a year for them to like iron it out. Bought one, blew my mind, and the Steam Deck then became what the Switch was like to me. Do you know what I mean? It blew my mind again, because I was like, now I've got access to all my Steam games from early 2000s, and we were playing all these crazy stuff like Half-Life 2, Fable, like, and all these great games, and then the emulation, like everything is amazing about it. I still don't see it any differently, but that jump up was from Switch to Steam Deck, and now it's almost happening again with the ROG Ally X, because there's stuff I've wanted to play, like Call of Duty. Christina loves Call of Duty, and I'm like, I can't play with you unless I get my laptop out, and then I've got to plug it in, and do you know what I mean? Like, it's all faff, and it's really frustrating. I just want something in my hands and go, and I've not been able to do that with the Steam Deck. And streaming games on Game Pass, whilst it's great because I've got good internet, I don't want to be playing multiplayer games like that. And like, you know, getting Moonlight on there and then casting it from my computer and stuff. There's going to be some like latency. So I was like, nah, I'll just not bother with that. And there's stuff that we've been playing, like we've been getting into all these multiplayer games that I just can't play. We've seen all these amazing Game Pass games that I'm like, well, I can't play on the go. And it's just like, oh man, it's so frustrating. ROG Ally X turns up and I'm just like, I could do everything I couldn't do on the Steam Deck. It's literally everything that I couldn't do and wanted to do on the Steam Deck, but now I can, and with better performance. Do you know what I mean? Like, man, and
so
it's mind blowing. It really is.
I've got some trepidation. That's my thing, and we spoke at quite length as to why the Steam Deck ultimately will outlast all of the other PC handhelds.
Yes, yeah.
And what we said in that, I think, still holds true.
Yes,
I think that the long-term support, I think the community thing,
yes,
I think the stability will be there longer term.
Yes, yeah, because they're effectively like Apple.
It's no coincidence it's built on Linux as well.
Yeah, there we go, yeah.
But it's limited compared to what you can do on Windows, but it's more stable and closed off and controllable from the
just like the
manufacturers.
Nintendo Switch. It's almost like the Nintendo Switch of the PC gaming side, you know?
Yeah. So So how, for those people that are on the fence, or like you, considering selling your Steam Deck, maybe even, which you still haven't told me if you're going to do. I know you're keeping us in suspense.
Yeah, I know, I am. Yeah.
How do you, for those people, how do you round off those hard edges of concern of like, what's it going to be like in a year's time?
Yeah.
How's Windows going to behave? How these different launchers going to behave in this thing in a year's time, 18 months time? Because I would say for most of us, if we're going to spend £800 on the base model, we're going to want to get 3 years out of this thing.
Oh yeah.
Minimum,
Yeah.
Before we consider selling it on. How do you ease those concerns for us?
Oh.
And when I say us, I mean me, because I'm on the edge of finding a way to buy one.
I get you, and I'd say this is a bigger concern for people in your position that's come from consoles, where there's no mess, there's no faff, there's a system update, everything's so tested in a controlled environment because everyone has the same console, it's going to work 99% of the time. Sometimes there's problems, but they are designed to work. You don't have to have any workarounds most of the time. It just works. Games play, and that's that. Whereas you hear PC, you think tinkering, reading guides and all this kind of stuff, and it's a bit daunting for like non-PC people. PC people,
100%.
Obviously, there's such a huge growing PC community. I don't think they would stand for it anymore. Do you know what I mean? Like, if it was a massive problem. Like, my thing when I first turned on the Ally X, and I'm an experienced PC user, I've been building PCs for 21 years, I think, now.
Make yourself sound old.
Yeah,
Be careful.
I know, it's bad.
Be careful.
But I turned it on fully expecting, all right, let's try and get some games to play. And when I say that, I was thinking, stuff's not going to launch. If it launches, it's going to crash. Do you know what I mean? I was thinking I'm going to have to mess with certain settings and stuff because I had no idea. I've never used a Windows-based handheld.
On a game-by-game basis as well, setting profiles and stuff.
I can tell you right now, every single thing that I have played on this, not one problem. Not one single game.
What's some of the hard hitters you've played?
Played through, I won't say I've played through the entire game, so we've only had it for like a few weeks. Hellblade 2, so a new one on Game Pass. Ghostwire Tokyo, I think it's called. And I've been trying to put like new stuff that's going to stress this as well. The Callisto Protocol, obviously Modern Warfare 3, Diablo 4, what else? Gears of War 5. Just because I wanted to. What's Hot Wheels 2? Unleashed 2.
Baby.
That was so good.
I love Hot Wheels.
It's so good.
That game.
It is so good, and it's multiplayer as well, isn't it? And it's on Game Pass. So I just downloaded it.
Oh no! Whoa! It's multiplayer on Game Pass.
Yeah. So when you get the
I've only played it on Switch.
Yes, that's what I mean. And that's where I've played the original on Switch, and then playing it on this makes it look like 8K. It's like, it's ridiculous.
What kind of, just sod it, just say it. What kind of frame rate were you getting on it?
Oh, I was getting just under 100 FPS without any upscaling. But I'm not going to tell you.
We're totally not allowed to say
I'm not going to say the settings.
You say we're not allowed to say it, but then I watched ETA Prime's video on the ASUS ROG
like,
ALLY
here's
X.
all the specs and numbers.
I was like, why were we so careful? And then other people are just publishing it.
Don't know.
Oh well. So just under 100 FPS.
Yeah, and it looks beautiful at 1080p.
Pretty solid as well, like consistent.
Oh yeah, consistently. Really good.
That's the really thing that I think is amazing about the Ally X. It's not just the performance you can get from it, but there's always that concern with like when you're running games at a higher frame rate of is it consistent? Because if it's not, then you have the stuttering or the tearing, and you have those kind of immersion breaking problems, and that I think more than anything else ruins an experience. I'd rather it
totally
be stable at 30 and it deal with the kind of slightly janky look to it.
100%.
That VRR thing. Just smoothing out any inconsistencies.
It's mind-blowing. And to pair that, though, with the console, you don't have choice, right? So you'll have, like, performance mode or quality mode, and that'll be it. Or maybe a balanced mode, right? On console, I'm talking about. So, like, on Game Pass, whatever.
Yeah.
Obviously, this is a full-blown PC. You get all the settings. So you can go to a preset, like low, medium, high, very high, or whatever on most games. However, if the game is chugging, right, where there's an actual problem, where there's some sort of interference, it's generally, if you just Google the game name, there will be a guide. And when I say guide, it's not to scare you off. It will be uncheck like anti-aliasing or something stupid that's interfering with the game. And generally, that's a game-breaking bug for all PC gamers. Like, so what was it Diablo? And they basically came out and said every RTX, so NVIDIA card person, turn off this one setting because they were all having problems because of the latest driver or whatever. So it's really easy, and you can do it yourself. Load the game up. I know it's a faff, but if you're going to spend 30 hours in this game, just do it at the beginning. If you load it up and you're like still, getting inconsistencies, then just go through, turn each setting off, but one at a time until it fixes it. Do you know what I mean? And I had that with Call of Duty. So I mess with the settings myself immediately. And every sort of like 4 seconds, I was getting a bit of as if the frames dropped entirely. So it wasn't even like a stutter. Yeah, like a stuttering. And it was one setting, which I think was off by default, but I turned it on. And
of course you did.
That ASUS guide as well, it actually told you which one it was. It was like, this is the one that's causing stuttering, so just turn that off. I was like, oh, brilliant, But, go on. And I'll come back to what I was going to say.
You carry on, because I'm changing the subject.
Oh, okay, so just to stay on this subject, so for those people that are console land, but they want a really decent handheld, they've got 800 quid, that's money's no object, they don't care, they're up for learning a bit of basic sort of PC lingo, do you know what I mean? Because you still have to like download a launcher and stuff like that, but with the new Armory Crate 1.5 whatever it is software, it just loads all your games in a tile like on the Steam Deck, and you can just go there. It's really, really easy. But you're talking about the concerns of in a year's time and stuff. If anything, all it's going to do is get more stable. Just like when the Ally originally released, because it was basically a new APU that no one had ever used before, there's no driver support there because it was brand new. So they didn't know what was going on and there was no support behind it. However, now it's much more stable. Even on the original Allies, there's way less problems, and that's translated now into the X. So in a year's time, Windows ain't going to change enough to have a game-breaking problem. The thing that will be an issue will just be an inconsistent driver update. But the thing is generally, each time that they, release a new one, usually it improves, and you can always roll back drivers as well. So I don't see it as a big concern personally. Like, I'm willing to go into it with that.
We're at an interesting junction in handheld gaming. There's a lot of the PC handhelds that are here or coming down the line as well.
Yeah.
We've got the Switch 2 is imminent.
Oh yeah, that's 100%.
We've got the strong rumours about PlayStation handheld coming.
Yeah.
Xbox at least catering for the handheld market in some way. I kind of fully believe that's just going to be a Windows OS, like an operating system thing.
Yeah, potentially.
But maybe a hardware one as well.
Yeah.
And then, of course, you've got what's going to come next from Valve with like a Steam Deck 2.
Yes.
Maybe in a year or two's time, we'll start hearing about that. But it's an interesting junction. For those people that are kind of like on the fence, do they hold firm with their Steam Decks? Or maybe if they haven't yet made a leap into the OLED and they're still considering it, do they wait? Do they jump into a ROG Ally X now and go, that's going to be me for the rest of this generation? Or what would you recommend at this point?
It's tough, isn't it? Because it really depends on your situation financially, and also what kind of games you like playing. Like, really, because financially, this is the most expensive one. This is, the Ally X is more expensive than the Legion Go. You buy the Lenovo, it's more expensive than the MSI Claw. No one's bought that. So
do you know what the price is going to be on the Zotac?
The Zotac, no price as of yet, as far as I'm aware. But it is the highest price. So that is a concern.
It's ASUS ROG, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. And also you've got the new chips out. So, somewhere, not that anyone's making it yet. So the Z1 Extreme, the GPU part of the APU is I think it's a 780M, or is that the new one that's come out? Or is that
that's the new one?
Okay.
780,
so I think it's I don't know what it is, but basically there's a newer one that's just come out, and supposedly by one test that was done, it's 30% increase in performance. However, you're probably still 2 years out on that yet. At least not, if not at least a year, and then.
And I also think with the those cold hard benchmarking tests, I always take them all with a pinch of salt, because they never directly translate to every single scenario as you would imagine. Some games, you may feel that. Others, how they've done their ray tracing or whatever it is, probably won't translate as much. I see it all the time when I go into like my video editing head. I see it all the time with different GPUs and different processors and how they handle rendering.
Yes.
And the benchmarking is, it's 2x better. And then when you actually get to real life testing, it's pretty much the same.
Yes. Yeah.
How much you get you, and how much you'll feel from that 30% is up for debate.
And I also, in that point, think you should always skip a generation anyway. Do you know what I mean? Like, what's the point? Like with graphics cards, I've still got a 3080 in this PC. I didn't buy the 4000 series at all, because that's stupid for me to do that. Like, it's just a waste of money, like just to say that I've got the best, because the 3080 is going to run everything I want at 1440p high settings.
When you think, like, from a gamer's perspective at least, when you think how the console generations are spaced, and they almost skip a generation in their life,
in between. You
think they're like 7 years end to end. There's definitely a upgrade point in the middle, where there would be a noticeable improvement in performance if they upgraded the processor or the GPU in some way. So console gamers are well used to that skip a generation without realizing it.
Totally.
So I think on the whole, I guess the advice is, if you're already in this space, if you already just got Steam Deck OLED and you're happy with what you're playing, then you're winning, because it's an awesome bit of hardware that's really cheap.
Exactly. And that's the thing, is the Steam Deck is like the entry point into like portable handheld gaming, where you're still going to get a really good performance, you know. And when I said it's all about the games you want to play, because it is, because the Steam Deck OLED could be someone's absolute top spec, like PC in their head, if they're massively into like 2D RPGs or like, you know, Metroidvanias or whatever it might be, or like just retro games or, you know, anything like that. Like the Steam Deck does it all, and it does it phenomenally. The OLED screen is so beautiful. Like, and for me, I see the Steam Deck. When I look at the Steam Deck, I think of Fable. I think of Half-Life 2. Do you know what I mean? I think of like the mid-2000s and like to the sort of 2010s. And then I'm like, this is what I see it as. And then all the new stuff like Prince Persia, The Lost Crown. Like
that's what I think of with it.
Anything like that is where I see the Steam Deck. And when I look at the Ally, I'm seeing Game Pass day one. Do you know what I mean? Like portable Game Pass day one. I'm seeing multiplayer games. I'm seeing weekends with you and whoever else, where we're playing multiplayer games online, and I'm not on the Steam Deck either streaming it from my computer and being annoyed because there's like latency or whatever, or running it, if it even is on the Steam Deck, at like 28 FPS. Do you know what I mean? I'm like, I can run it at 60 on the Ally, you know, and it's like, that's the timing. Amazing.
The timing of the release of the Ally X is really interesting. And it kind of enticing more people into their ecosystem, just because of how much Microsoft are putting into Xbox Game Pass. Like how much has been piled into release Game Pass day one.
Yes.
Like the Xbox Developers Direct a couple of weeks ago that we covered. There was, I want to say, a dozen AAA games that were day one Game Pass.
There was a load, like absolute loads of them.
It was insane.
Far more than I anticipated.
All of those will be available to play handheld.
Yeah, exactly.
That's kind of mental.
At no extra cost, you know.
No.
And that's what I was saying to Christina the other day. Like on the weekend, I was just downloading all these games, and I'm like playing them for like an hour at a time, you know. And she's like, "Oh, what are you doing now?" I'm like, "Just playing Callisto Protocol that came out, like, you know." Like, and I'm like, "I didn't pay for any of these." Do you know what I mean? Like, and she's like,
just
she couldn't get around, like, get over her head, because you normally would get like one game a month or something if we could afford it, and we'd like try and get like whatever we were after at that time. But with the Game Pass, I downloaded like 10 games in a morning. and then just started doing it. It's mad.
I think you've just shone a light on something that's a little bit alarming.
What's that?
Is your wife's interest in the ASUS ROG Ally X as well?
No, yes. Yeah, she started.
Are you both going to get one?
I think we might.
She becomes self-aware.
Yes.
She's like the raptors in Jurassic Park when they learn to open the door.
Yes, that's it. Yeah.
Oh my God, she's aware.
Yeah, I've started speaking at her about this for so many weeks now that she's started to listen, and she's gone, hang on a second. And
this ROG Ally thing sounds pretty good.
Yes, yeah. Well, no, genuinely, she wants to get one now. So,
are you getting rid of your PCs?
Yeah, that's what we're doing. So we've
like gone.
Yeah, gone. Yeah, we're going to replace them with the ROGs, with the Allies. But I'm going to get the Ally X, and she's going to get the V1 Ally, and hope that it goes on discount, like when the X comes out. So
yeah, it's a good shout, that is.
And because it's a bit lighter as well, and it's a bit thinner, and she doesn't really need the battery life. We've got power banks everywhere. If she goes somewhere for work, which isn't often, once or twice a month, she's on the train like most of the day.
There's plugs on the train.
There's plugs on the train and stuff. You've similar performance for the original versus the X. It would be more than enough for her, because we've pretty much retired our gaming PCs once we got back into console gaming. We got the PS5, we got the Xbox and the Switch, and we've spent so much of our time there that our dedicated gaming PCs are just redundant, and then we would boot them up. We've got one hooked up to the TV downstairs. Most people don't have a gaming PC just like in their sitting room on their telly, but we do.
No.
We do, because we used to have in our old place, in the old studio, we had our computers side by side, and we'd be streaming or like gaming together or whatever. And then we just kind of stopped that and became console gamers again. My gaming PC just completely went redundant, and because I was using my separate PC, which is for work and editing and everything else, her computer just kind of, she would load it up now and again, play some Steam games, or if she wanted to play like an MMO or something like that, but then she would just gravitate to the Xbox because it's so easy to play. You turn it on and you're there. With her PC, because she'd spent so long in between all the updates, do you know what I mean, all this kind of stuff, and she's like, and she doesn't have a big Steam library. She's like leeching off mine, whereas she's really interested in Game Pass games. Game Pass comes up, she's like, what's new? Oh, I'm going to just try it, so it's like, oh, okay. So we were talking, and the only other thing we use her PC for is like singing. So we've got a mixing desk and like, speakers and everything, and we like put karaoke through it essentially, like, if we're having a party or something. And she was like, that's the only thing I wish I could do. But she was like, I don't need this gaming PC to do this. She could have a 200 quid laptop there doing that for her.
Yeah.
But she's like, I still want to play some games on PC. What if we play an MMO again or something like that? And she said, should I get an Ally? And she was like, would it be possible to do everything I want? And I said it would.
Yeah, because you can keyboard and mouse it.
Yeah,
of course you can.
I said it's a PC. She said, yeah, but it's not like some like basic version. It's not like, Linux or whatever that you keep saying about the limitations of the Steam Deck. I'm like, no, this is full blown. So I like showed her, like I was like backed out to Windows. I said, this is just a laptop or a desktop. I said, if we get a dock, which I've got a bunch for the Steam Deck, if we sit it down, plug it in and put a mouse and keyboard in, you've now got a desktop. And I said, you'll be able to play MMOs and stuff at 1080p, or whatever you want. She loves playing Rust, this like survival game.
Oh, I know Rust. Yeah,
it's rubbish. But
are you sure you want to get her a ROG Ally?
She's just going to be like nailed to. But the thing is, as I said as well, you can plug all your music stuff and all your music software can be running on this. Yeah. Because it will just hook up. So it's just a USB into a thing. So she was like, okay, let's... And the thing is she'll save money. So she'll like get money back from selling her gaming PC with an RTX 3070 in it and everything else, that she never uses. This is a smarter buy because she's going to buy a ROG V1, an Ally V1, hopefully around the sort of £500 mark, maybe a bit less, depending on the sales.
I've been looking at them. It may shock you.
Yeah. Oh, have you? Oh.
And they're, depending on condition, they are from about 350 up to about 500.
Yes.
In that range.
Yeah.
So you can get some good deals around the £400 price point.
Yeah.
From reputable retailers as well. So there's a lot out there, and I think there's going to be a price correction on the original model soon as well.
That's what we're
when
waiting
the X
for.
drops at the end of July.
Yeah, that's what we're waiting for. So we're going to try and sell the PC and then get a new one.
So you're not selling... Is this whole thing been pointless? Did you phone me up and go, I'm just going to troll... You clickbaited me into this call.
You clickbaited me because you've been trying...
What?
AJ's been trying to get me to sell my Steam Deck to him, and I won't.
Yes.
I won't do it. I won't do it. And there's one
When
reason.
you said about...
But go on.
Why?
No, you go on.
It was the first thing I said to you when you're like, oh, yeah, I don't know, might sell a laptop or I don't know. I was like, I'll buy your Steam Deck off you.
Because that's the thing, is Christina's going to be selling her gaming PC. I'm going to sell my gaming laptop. So my gaming laptop, again, is no different than her. You know, I'd never use it.
Yeah.
I only use it when we game on the weekends, and it's just there gathering dust, you know.
You were playing Diablo on it last time and just moaning about how cumbersome it is.
Yes, yeah, it was annoying. Whereas I've been loving playing it on the Ally X, and it's something I would use more. I can have it sat on my desk, you know, I can just play it wherever without any problems, you know. So I'm going to sell my laptop. She's selling her desktop. And then you've been trying to get me to sell my Steam Deck. And even Christina said to me, why didn't you, sell your Steam Deck? I know AJ wants one. And I said, he does. And he's been wanting one the whole time we've been covering Steam Deck stuff because it's so amazing. You know, we've been doing all these videos about it. But there's one reason.
So I'm going to give it to him.
No.
No.
There's one reason why I don't think you should get a Steam Deck, personally. And this is me saying, don't buy a Steam Deck to AJ, right? Because he doesn't have any Steam games and he wants to play Game Pass. You've got an Xbox, you've got an active Game Pass subscription. Instead of having to buy all these games full price or slightly discounted on Steam, you can literally buy an Ally, whether that's a V1 or an Ally X, and play them all. Like, think of the money you'd save just from not buying games alone. Do you know what I mean? Like, so I think for you, I think the Ally is the better buy. And you've got me. If there is any problems that you run into, I'll just fix them for you.
Wait, you're my on-call PC technician.
So I'll be like, have you turned it on and off yet?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'll figure stuff out. Yeah, no, you're right. I know. And yes, I've been looking at the ROG Ally X and the Allies as well, and the prices. But there's part of me that just wants some of that OLED goodness.
I know. I would say the OLED shines specifically on the older titles. It really does, because the Steam Deck can handle it at a higher FPS. 90 hertz OLED panel. You can play some really good like 2D platformers and stuff at that 90 FPS, or some older titles between 60 and 90 FPS. They look great. But if you were going to try and run a new game, even if you bought it on Steam, you're going to be chugging away at like Hogwarts, you know. I was playing that when it launched on Steam Deck, and it's
Hogwarts Tragedy. Is it called?
Like it chugs between like 28 FPS and like 35. I'm just going to say it. The ROG Ally was getting like a solid 60, like from what I was with the settings I was using. So it's like double the performance. If I put them, if I upped the graphics a bit more on the Ally X, I was getting around 55 FPS solid.
I cannot wait for the embargo to lift
so that I can say that.
So you can say what you just said on the main channel where people watch us. No, so we can do like a side-by-side, like stuff like Hogwarts Legacy. That really springs to mind.
Yes.
Like, let's just look at the difference here.
Yes.
Because
absolutely,
it's severe.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you're right. It is the smarter buy. I'm a bit sad about it because I've lusted after the Steam Deck OLED since you got it.
Yes.
And haven't been in a position to get one myself. So I've just been playing yours every time you bring it to the studio and talking about it a lot.
Yes. All I do is just ramble on about, the Steam Deck and now the Ally X.
But we can go back to the start of this and we can feel good about our position with Steam Deck and Valve, and that your Steam Deck won't hate you because you're not selling it.
No, I'm not going to sell it, and that's that. Well, no, not yet, and I will sell it probably to fund the Steam Deck 2. So in 2 years' time when that comes, and that's why I actually don't feel bad about buying an Ally X now. Thinking, next year it's going to, because everyone's going next year, man. Like, it's like, I doubt it. I know there's been an upgrade within a year from the Ally 1, but there was obvious problems. You know, you had the SD card problem. There was other issues there. The joysticks have been upgraded in this one. Like, people are having joystick problems and whatever. Like, there's been enough of reason for them to jump up.
Real weird tangent, just to kind of thoughts near the end of this now. Do you think by the time the Steam Deck 2 happens, that Valve and Microsoft will start working together a little bit more, and that Game Pass might become native?
There's loads of people have been like saying that, and if that's the case,
it's weird that it's not, isn't it?
It is weird that it's not, but I mean, Gabe from Steam, Valve, was a Microsoft employee. You know, he was part of Microsoft and then left and created Valve and everything. So I don't know what their relationship's like, whatever. Is it within their interest? Because there's Microsoft games on Steam that they sell on Steam. As soon as you integrate, you're then losing those sales to the Steam players.
And I guess the whole point of the Steam Deck is it's not actually the hardware at all.
No.
It's a store. A hardware connection to the store.
Absolutely, yeah. It's a way to buy from Steam, yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense, I guess, then. But
so it's a possibility.
From a pure player's perspective, it's like I selfishly want everything everywhere.
But that is the ROG Ally X.
That's the Ally.
That's the Ally
Well, that's where the name comes from, isn't it?
Yeah, play everything. And until I'd experienced it, I didn't realise how much I needed that. Like, there's no bias about where you buy or play your games from. If you've got frickin' Epic Game Store, who are you, for one? I'm joking. I've got an account.
What's in the Epic Game Store?
Only Fortnite.
Is it Rocket League?
Only Fortnite.
Rocket League's in there.
Rocket League's on Steam as well, or it used to be. Maybe I'm showing my age again.
Have you ever played Rocket League?
Yeah.
Have you ever played it?
Yeah, I did.
How good were you at it?
Not very. But I just drove cars around. It's great.
It's impossibly hard.
It's funny though. It was funny when it came out. But yeah, so for me, that's what I love about the Ally X, is the fact that you are not limited. You can literally do whatever you want. And again, going back to that screen, just really quickly to round this off, because it can play games at the higher FPS, you're then within that VRR bracket, and it just looks amazing. You know, like you forget that it's not an OLED until you're at a title screen where the screen goes completely black, and then you go, okay, yeah, there's a bit of like backlight bleed there. But when you're actually in the game, you're too busy like, this is so good. You know, even playing Callisto Protocol, which is dark, grimy, like it's a horror game, I did not even notice, you know, the screen difference. It's a really nice screen. And yes, it is LCD.
It does look really good.
I think people put it down massively, you know.
Yeah.
But there we go.
Well, that VRR thing it's a bit like actually the difference when you first see an OLED. Like when you are using a VRR panel, you can't go back.
Yeah.
So if you were going to have a choice between which two, because that is the position we're in, you can't have both. You've got to go VRR.
Yeah, and it's 1080p, and that alone makes stuff crisper. And the funny thing is you're getting like loads more performance on the Ally X, and it's at a much higher resolution.
I know we touched on it once when we were covering the Ally X, but it makes me feel incredibly okay and actually quite excited about the Switch 2.
Me too, yeah, massively. Yeah.
You know, all the talk about it not being OLED and all the rest of it is like, actually, now I feel okay about it.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's not what we're here for.
No.
So, bombshell, we clickbaited you.
Yes.
Andy lied to us all, and we don't have to hate him because he's keeping his Steam
I'm
Deck.
Keep the Steam Deck. Yeah, I'm gonna have both, providing I can sell my laptop and buy an Ally X.
And there's another reason to hate Andy.
Sorry, AJ. Oh, and I've also got on my desk, I've got all three. I've got the triple threat here. So I've got the Steam Switch, which is what I'm calling it now. There you go, AJ. You can see it. The Steam Switch.
Oh wow, is that the Switch 2?
Yeah, that's the Switch 2 right there. So
Nitro Deck Plus.
I've got the triple threat on the desk.
Wow, you've gone for the full thing. If you've got this far, you know, we really love you, and thank you for joining us for this weird impromptu phone call of a podcast.
The rant.
I quite like this.
Yeah, it's good. I like this.
Where we just get things off our chests.
Yes, yeah. I like
and
it.
Andy lies to us.
I do, yeah.
I'm
sorry.
If you're listening in podcast land, please do rate the show.
Yes.
It does really help us out.
Yes.
I found out today that we are the number 2 podcast for video games in Singapore.
Yes, thank you so much. Like, that's amazing.
If you're listening in Singapore, then
amazing.
That's cool. If you're on Spotify, hi, this is our faces.
Hi.
If you're on YouTube, please do like the video, subscribe to the channel, and the biggest thing you could do to help us out is
join our memberships. Yes. And you can see these videos early if I remember to, make them available early. And also, you get an invite to our private Discord where you can come and chat to me and AJ and often play games with us.
Yeah, it's really cool. It's a cool place to be, cool place to hang out.
Loads of nice
occasionally
people
Andy
there.
will send pictures of his dog as well.
Yes, I will, yeah. And
his dog's balls.
these handhelds as well, yeah.
Yeah, there's that too. So that leaves nothing else but for you to watch another video from us.
Yes.
It'll be slapped between our faces
yeah.
around there somewhere.
Do it.
Something like that.
Yeah, just
and
do
until
it.
the next time,
Bye.